Alexa, what's love?
Love is an intense feeling of deep affection.
Hey, what's up? It's me, Jessica J, and I was just wondering if you've ever sat and thought to yourself, but how do I get her to love me? Well, I'm glad you asked, because today I'm going to go over the 6 things you need to do in order to get a woman wanting you and only you for the rest of her life. This better be what you want, because when we women love you, we fucking love you. And to make sure you don't miss out on a woman you are falling for or another one of my videos, hit the subscribe button right here, right now. So all of this stuff that I'm going to go over is not stuff that needs to happen step by step, but it does all need to happen in order for you to get a woman to love you. Because as Alexa had just said, it's a very intense feeling that you're gonna get. So you gotta put in some intense actions to get it. Actually, not really. It's pretty simple once you hear it, and I actually go over all of it in way more depth than I ever could in a YouTube video in my Speak to Spark Arousal program, which you can check out right here after this video. But once you know all these 6 things that we women need in order to feel a need for you, you can virtually use it with any woman you want or any woman you think is worthy enough for Pound Town and Partnership Town. Yeah, let's start using Partnership Town as well as Pound Town. So the first thing you need to do is you need to show her your human vulnerable side. Okay, what's the one thing we all have in common? I always say this. I have it in common with you. You have it in common with my mom. My mom has it in common with your mom. Exactly, our human experiences. We all got here the same way, and we're all going out the same way. So before a woman even gets to know you on any level, you are part of the masses. You're part of the sheep, or you're part of the dogs that she's used to trying to get to her for a piece of meat. So in order for a woman to love you, she needs to feel like she's on equal playing field with you. She needs to see your human side. Because we women, we don't fall in love with sheep or dogs, but we do primally respond to wolves. Wolves meaning you being your primal, natural, genuine self that no other man in this world can ever be. I'm talking about you giving her your thoughts, your feelings, your personal experiences. Anything that can say to her that, oh my God, this guy is totally human and I'm a human and he should put his human parts in my human parts. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Silence of the Lambs, but this woman gets kidnapped by a serial killer, and to try to get her back, her mother goes on the news and broadcasts all these human qualities about her. Here she is playing as a child. Here she is not making the softball team. Because when you show your human qualities, what it does is it makes you more relatable. And everybody's number one interest, what is it? Themselves, exactly. So as soon as she looks at you and says, oh my God, I can totally relate to him, he's just like me, then she inherently becomes interested in you. So at the very least, she needs to be interested in you in order for her to be in love with you. The second thing you need to do is not only show your human side, but get interested in her human side and what makes her unique aside from any other woman in the world that you can also have. I'm talking about ask her personal questions, not like, what do you do for a living? What city are you from? I mean things like, growing up for me as the middle child was like really frustrating because it's just really hard being so perfect. What about you? What was it like growing up for you as a middle child? So when we open up to anybody about something personal, something vulnerable, and it doesn't have to be something vulnerable like I was scared of the dark until I was today. I'm talking about something as simple as I like to eat mayonnaise from a jar with a spoon when I can't get to sleep at night. I don't do that. I don't fucking do that. That's weird. But if that's you, that's cool. But I am talking about when we reveal those personal things about ourselves, those little quirky things that only we really do. In that sharing of that information, what we do is we form a cognitive bias in our head. Our brain tells us, wait a minute, we just told all this personal stuff to this person. We don't normally tell personal stuff to this person. That must mean that we trust this person. So when you can get a woman to open up about who she is deep down inside, what makes her special, what makes her unique, what she's inadvertently telling herself is, oh my God, I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't trust this guy. I must trust him enough that I'm being this vulnerable. This must mean that I want him inside my heart and vagina. Now, the third thing you need to do is you need to make her laugh. You need to get her involuntarily knee-jerk reaction laughing at your funny motherfucking ass. Because what you're doing when you get somebody to laugh is you are eliciting positive emotions from them. You're eliciting involuntary emotions from them. And what do we all know about love? Exactly, that it's involuntary. We can't choose who we love, we just do. So if you can get a woman to laugh, what you're doing is you're causing something to happen in her body that she has no control over, and it feels good. What that tells her inadvertently is that you make her feel good without even trying. And this sends a signal back to our brain saying like, oh my god, look, I didn't even have to think about it and my body is just reacting to him. That must mean that this is love because you can't choose who you love and you can't choose who you laugh at or with in this situation. Okay, I said cognitive bias before, but I mean cognitive dissonance. It's where your body does one thing, so your brain to catch up must mean I must have wanted to do this. So when you get a girl laughing, it sends a signal to our brain that, look, our body is already acting. That must mean that there's something about this guy that says I should marry him. Now, the fourth thing you need to do is you need to show her that you want her. So my therapist said something like really amazing to me the other day. She was like, Jessica, what's the difference between a really great friendship and a relationship? The answer? You're right. Pound Town. I'm sorry, in order to get us to fall in love with you, meaning invested in being together in a relationship with you and having you in our lives, you're gonna have to introduce the concept of you desiring us, you wanting to be with us. Because I love all my friends, but all the stuff I just mentioned, opening up, getting personal, making me laugh, getting curious about who I am as a person. I really just named things that all my greatest friendships have. So in order to finally make her fall in love with you and not just love you so much as like my best friend and brother, you have to acknowledge that you have a P that will fit perfectly in her V. Because let me tell you right now, biology forces us to want you after you do the first three things already. As straight men and women, if you show your personal self to me and you get curious about who I am and I laugh with you, I'm going to naturally feel like we should be fucking. And if you don't do that, I'm gonna be like, well, I guess I just made a new friend. And we're fine with that. And at the same time, we're not fine with that because we would love a guy who opens up and wants to get to know us and can make us laugh. It's what we all fucking want as women. It's what we strive for. So I'm telling you right now, you better show her the D, because if you did all three that I mentioned already, we want it. So put it in my face, put it in my mouth, put it in my life. Now, the fifth thing you need to do is you need to be able to lead her out of her comfort zone one way or another. So my friend and I were debating one day about what love is, and he was like, love is not real. We just fall in love with not the person, but with the person we become because of that person. Yeah. And I totally get that. My ex made me strive to be an amazing motherfucker. He was so hot, so he made me strive to be hotter. And he had such an amazing work ethic that he made me strive to love my job again, to work hard at what I do. And because of that, I started loving my job again, and I was way hotter. And I loved who that Jessica was. So in turn, I loved him. But you know what? It can actually be even simpler than that. When I first got to LA, I met this guy who lived in my building. He was about like 5'4". He was skinnier than me. Like literally his frame was smaller than mine. And he had a bent crooked nose, like super crooked. And he had buck teeth. I know I'm not selling this guy at all. This guy, like, if you looked at him, you'd be like, that guy is repulsive. And I remember the first time I met him, he took me on a motorcycle and we went straight to a museum where there was an event going on. And he grabs me by the hand and he's like, come here, I know a place we could sneak in. And me, being the submissive, obedient Asian, I was like, no, we can't do this. We don't do this. I obey the rules always. And I remember him saying, just follow my lead, baby. I got you. And sure enough, we snuck into the back of this museum where this huge event was going on, and we attended this event that people had paid hundreds of dollars to go to. And I remember after that, I felt so exhilarated, and it was something I would never have done before. But in that moment, I remember feeling like, oh my God, I could totally fall for this guy. Because again, going back to that cognitive dissonance, if you can get her to do something outside of her comfort zone, and it can be thrilling and exciting and fun, what it does is it goes back to her body and says, look at this thing that this guy got me to do. It must be because of him. It must be because he's amazing. It must be because he is amazing. And with him, I am amazing. And I fucking love amazing me. It's always why they say, be with somebody who brings out the best in you. And the way to bring out the best in a girl that'll make her fall in love with you is to show her a side of her that she's never seen before by breaking her out of her comfort zone. Now the sixth thing is for the adults who are watching, because realistically, you can make a woman fall in love with you just by doing the first 3 things or the first 4 things. The 5th thing will get her obsessing over you, but this 6th thing, oh Jesus. But this 6th thing is gonna get her feeling like you are the one. And that's, don't just be a good person, be a good partner. The one thing that makes us women say like, oh my God, like this is the guy that could like totally be the last guy I'm in love with, is seeing that we work good together. I had a boyfriend that I would always cook dinner, and by the time he was done eating the dinner I cooked, I was like, why didn't you do the dishes? And his reasoning was, you're the one who made this mess, you do the dishes. That does not a good partner make. On the flip side, I dated another guy where I was like, hey, listen, I'm dying because I have a migraine and I want to fucking kill myself. And he was like, don't worry, I got you. I'm gonna come up, buy groceries, I'm gonna walk your dogs so they don't shit on you. This is the stuff we think about when we think about a guy who could be the one. Meaning, what's gonna happen when I'm laying, dying, and my home is falling apart? Can he pick up the slack? Can he be a good partner to me in my moment of need? This means complimenting her when she needs it. And I don't mean complimenting like, hey girl, great boots. I mean complimenting with an E. C-O-M-P-L-E. Complimenting with an E. Where if you know that she's only 4'11" and she can't reach the peanut butter that you put on the top shelf, how'd she even get it on the top shelf? Don't worry, babe, I got you. Or on the flip side, if you know that you fucking suck at doing laundry and you're wearing your boxer shorts inside out now, something as simple as letting her do your laundry because she wants to. Because falling in love with you means investing in us together. And if you do all 6 of these things, she's gonna realize and like, oh my God, my life would be perfect with him. And that's really what falling in love is, realizing that our life without you can never come close to what life would be like with you. And to make sure you don't fuck it up, don't forget to put in your email and find out the 10 mistakes that most guys make in this process. And after that, it'll show you my Speak to Spark Arousal video, which I go over all of these things more in depth in. Ugh, I fucking hate ending sentences with prepositions. So check those 2 out right now. Make sure you make a worthy one fall for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.